Welcome back to Marta from Sparta. Have you ever looked at the old flour sack and thought, yep, that's definitely screaming summer fashion? That's it. No? Just me? Well, somewhere out there, a vintage textile collector is probably gasping because today I am carrying up antique flour and salt sack. Before you report me to the Vintage Textile Protection Society, please hear me out. I have very special talent for walking into antique stores and seeing clothing where everyone else sees old kitchen supplies. Most people would frame these beautiful vintage sacks, display them on the shelf, or tuck them away for safekeeping. Me, I look at them and think, ooh, those would make the cutest summer overalls. So, today, these vintage treasures are getting the ultimate glow up. I am transforming them into one of the kind pair of summer overalls, complete with my own appliques and fabric patches. Honestly, I have no idea if my vision in my head is going to turn out amazing or if I'm about to create the world's most fashionable bakery uniform. Either way, it's going to be fun. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's turn a little piece of history into wearable art. Without the further ado, let's get started. Welcome back to Marta from Sparta. Thank you for joining me this Sunday. I really appreciate that you are spending this time with me. And today we're gonna do upscaling. We're not duping anything. Today we're gonna upscale something. And you guys know that I turn vintage quilts into dresses and curtains into the clothes. Today we're gonna take a fashion to a different level. We're gonna turn old vintage flour sacks into very stylish overalls. So sometimes I get a question, I get a question a lot, where I get all these ideas from videos. To answer your question, it might sound kind of cliche, from everywhere, from the walks, from something I see, from the person which wears something fun and I like just teeny tiny piece of their outfit, from surroundings. Like I am very observant person and I think comes also with a job because I am photographer. So part of my job is just to notice all these tiny details, and I have a lot of time to think because every single morning, regardless rain or snow, we going for a walk. And I have time to think on the walks about a lot of things, how I want to execute my projects. And I'm going to show you in a minute. I just have to turn the camera around how everything looks like and what I carry in my walking bag, I'm going to call it. Okay, so let me turn the camera around and let's talk about it a little bit more. So here we go. That's how it looks like. And we live in a beautiful area. So this is just one of many places I walk with boys every single day. So Teddy is right over here after snacked. Leonek. Leo boy. Say hi. That's Leonek. So let me show you. This is like the bag which I have only for walking. And obviously poopy bags, right? And my reading glasses. And the front pouch has snacks for boys. And what I have inside, I always have like a tiny, like a book, like a notebook with me, and a pen if I want to, if I come up with idea and I want to write this down. And I know I can write this down in the phone, but I still like to use my hands. You know, I still really value a handwriting, and I have pliers. And, for example, today I found this beautiful feather, and I really love feathers. So I'm gonna sit in a minute and just draw. Yeah, I need that feather. No, it's not for you to eat. It's mine. And actually this feather gave me a fun idea for video. Like, see, that's one of the inspirations. So no, Leonku, no! Oh my God, he stole my feather. He thinks it's for him. No, that's mommy's feather. No, I have to fight for this feather. So I'm gonna keep the feather in my book and I'm gonna draw in a minute my idea so I won't forget. And basically that's it. Keys and some tissues, and that's it. The most important thing is the phone and the glasses, snack for boys because they're still in training. And we're gonna sit here for a few minutes. I'm gonna write this down and we're gonna keep. You already saw me how generally my idea being born, and most of them come from surroundings, everything I see around, and even like a tiny piece of someone's outfit can inspire me to create whole different outfit or jewelry or accessory, you name it. And then once the idea is born in my head, I always have this tiny notebooks by my bedside, in my pouch when I walk with boys, as you guys see on the video, and in my purse when I drive somewhere in a car. So I know I can write it in the phone, but there is something about handwriting for me which makes everything still super special and different. And documenting my ideas on the paper and then going through them, it brings me joy. So usually when the idea is born, when I'm driving or like when I'm somewhere seeing something, then I write this quickly, and then when I walk with boys I think about the details, and I think how I want to execute it and what I would like to generally do. And this idea usually is just very raw, and it's keep changing, and it could change also when I'm recording the video, as you guys saw. I tend to change my decision because I think I like visual aspect of everything. So when I see the whole piece, then I generally have basic idea of oh well, maybe that's not gonna work. So it's the same thing might be with this overalls. I have just few, not too many, vintage flour and sugar and salt sacks. And we had in Sparta vintage marketplace, so I got them for the fraction of the price in Sparta. But we don't have many thrift stores, so but because this is like in the woods, we have a lot of this stuff, which I might actually have easier access than some people do. So I might actually think about how far this few flour sacks will take me to build the overalls, what I can do, and how I'm gonna execute it, because each of them has different pattern. And I really, really love this pattern, so I don't want to like lose them somewhere. Also, each vintage sack has different thickness, so that might be affect where I'm gonna be putting them. And I don't want to use them as salt sacks. And we had in Sparta vintage marketplace, so I got them for the fraction of the price in Sparta. But we don't have many thrift stores, so but because this is like in the woods, we have a lot of this stuff, which I might actually have easier access than some people do. So I might actually think about how far this few flour sacks will take me to build the overalls, what I can do, and how I'm gonna execute it, because each of them has different pattern. And I really, really love this pattern, so I don't want to like lose them somewhere. Also, each vintage sack has different thickness, so that might be affect where I'm gonna be putting them. And I don't want to use them as a patches on top of the overalls, because I don't want to have heavy overalls. I want to build the overalls using them. So as you see on my previous clips, or maybe I'm running it, I generally design, and this is just the basic idea of the front and the back, what I want to do. And obviously I'm gonna build it up, obviously I'm gonna change everything, but I'm gonna show you what I have. And I have the pattern from Etsy. If you guys interested to use the same pattern, I'm gonna link it in the description below, looking at the hooks again. And we're gonna see how far this flour and salt sacks will take me. So this is the stack of them which I have, and it looks a lot, but might not be. So this is first one, which is very narrow, but it's double-sided. So I think this actually definitely could be a leg, but the overalls are one piece, so it might be like fun connection. So this is double-sided, which I was thinking could be both legs, front. Then I have this one, which is fairly big, and it's also double-sided, which is actually longer. So maybe I'm gonna do one leg, and there's gonna be both sides from this one and one leg from that side. See, so my ideas are keep changing. Same thing, this one is only one-sided, but also could be two legs. And then I found this tiny one, which is adorable. I was thinking to make so this is first one, which is very narrow, but it's double-sided. So I think this actually definitely could be a leg, but the overalls are one piece, so it might be like fun connection. So this is double-sided, which I was thinking could be both legs, front. Then I have this one, which is fairly big, and it's also double-sided, which is actually longer. So maybe I'm gonna do one leg, and there's gonna be both sides from this one and one leg from that side. See, so my ideas are keep changing. Same thing, this one is only one-sided, but also could be two legs. And then I found this tiny one, which is adorable. I was thinking to make a front pocket for overalls using this one. Nothing gonna go to waste, guys. And this one has like a huge, kind of like a stain over here. So I am not sure if that could be just like a top of my overalls, and we're gonna cover the stain. Then we have another tiny one. It's adorable. It could be a patch and could be a pocket. And that's it as far as the sacks goes. And I also got this vintage heavy canvas. This was one piece which was over there, and this definitely would cover front on the back. So now I have to think how to use these materials. And what I like about that, all of them actually are basically the same color, and they have some stains and imperfections, but that's why we have patches, right? So I was thinking, oops, using vintage doilies and laces, which I collected. I was also thinking combining that with the, oh my goodness, how it's called, with my patches, because I want to add some color to it. And I am kind of on the fence if I should dye the whole piece or not, but I think I'm gonna leave it as is because I want to be light and linen and airy and very summerish. And I was also on the fence of using very light tint denim as ruffles and pockets. So this will be like semi, all of them actually are basically the same color, and they have some stains and imperfections. But what we know for now, we know that definitely too small bags will serve us as potentially some fun pockets or patches. I think I won't definitely use this one as a packet, and I think that's gonna be, when I'm thinking about it more, because it has like a recipe on the back, I think I want to use one back pocket with this and the other back pocket with a recipe on it. I think that's gonna be fine. The fun. So I'm gonna, I already have destination for this one. I think this one definitely gonna be my front pocket. So now I'm gonna show you my table. We're gonna lay the pattern down and we will see what I can do, or if I'm gonna need more, some type of fabric. As I mentioned before, one of the things which I was able to get on vintage market was also vintage canvas. And I washed it and it's wrinkled and it's fine. I had a really hard time ironing it, but then on the other hand, it's linen, so it's gonna get wrinkled and it's actually fun to look like this. But what I decided to do, this is the back of the overalls. So I cut out one side of the back using vintage canvas and one front of overalls using vintage canvas. And I'm gonna use it as an opposite side, if you know what I mean. So it's going to be like that. This is gonna be one side and that's gonna be the back. The reason why I wanted to do it this way is because I didn't want to also have like overalls very busy in front, because these bags have only pattern mostly on the one side and like very plain in the back. So what I'm gonna create, I'm gonna actually do one side super busy and the other side gonna be also busy, but with some of the patches which I'm gonna use. So right now I'm gonna use each of them and I'm gonna create I'm gonna see how far the bag's gonna take me, because I might need to stitch them for the whole length. I don't think I have enough for the whole length. Even the biggest bag doesn't gonna cover it. I'm short, but I don't think it will. I also don't want the overalls to be full-size overalls. I don't want them to be all the way to the ground. So before I'm gonna actually start to cut the bags, I might see how low the overalls go and just, you know, like shorten them, right? Because I don't want them to be that crazy long. I don't like long overalls, but I want to roll them up. So I'm gonna measure myself and see how long from the crotch down I want them to be, and then I'm gonna make a decision about the vintage sacks. It took me 5 hours to puzzle everything and think everything through, because I really didn't want to use
thick canvas. I wanted to use only bags because first of all, they're lighter and it's supposed to be like summer shorts. So I wanted them to be like very thin, and the canvas were very, very thick and heavy. So I managed actually to puzzle everything the way that I'm not gonna use canvas at all. I'm just gonna use bags. And I am pretty stoked about being able to use Sparta quality bag. You see Spartan's Grain and Meal Company, because you guys know I'm from Sparta. So I was pretty happy, especially to have this in front, which says Sparta quality. And this specific sack was double-sided. So I'm gonna have the same one on the back of my pants. So now you see back and front over there, and I absolutely love how it came out. I'm gonna serge everything, and the luxury of doing overalls from scratch is that I get to design appliques and put everything and stitch appliques on it before I'm gonna close it, so I don't have to open and close. I'm actually considering side pockets, which I might actually do, because it doesn't really matter what kind of fabric I'm using in the middle. I might use like a plain white cotton fabric to put the pockets, because I want to have also like a side pockets in those. And now once I'm gonna serge it, I'm not gonna close anything. I'm gonna see what scraps are left, and I'm gonna show you. I have a whole box of scraps left, and let's not forget about, let me dig in it. Let's not forget about these miniature bags, which I have, which I want to create pockets from them. And as I thought, like the back pocket, I probably want to use this one as a front and have the recipe on the back. And I'm gonna love it so much. I also don't want to cover like a Sparta quality sign, but there was no other way around it. The number of bags I have and how I had to piece it out, unfortunately, probably is gonna fall somewhere where my packet will be, so I might just able to do one packet in the back. I'm gonna think about it and put like a recipe somewhere here. I have a lot of fun stuff to do. I think that once this is pieced out, and I really, really love how it looks, the rest of it is just like super fun, just designing the patches. I probably will stay away from the front when there's Sparta quality. I don't want to cover it too much because, again, it's super special for me, Marta from Sparta, right? So I have a lot of thinking to do, and I'm going to share with you as I go. Okay, we are back inside, and I cut out the linings. This is like not relevant really to show you, but I also made how it's called, like the, oh my goodness, the straps for overalls. And I decided to use like also leftover of the one of the bags which we have, and I was very lucky to be able to have them fairly even. I cut out the pockets because I do want inside pockets, and then I want to show you on the front, because we have a lot of red and the like the strap's gonna be red. I want to stitch that, which means the recipe has to go in the back. So I am working right now on deciding where goes where, and pinning everything. And again, it's awesome that I do not have to open and close overalls. So now I'm gonna go through my brand new patches of Spice Girls, because I didn't use them yet for myself, and I think that's gonna be opportunity right now for me to pick one big Spice Girl and the quote which I want to put on this overalls. And I might try to tea dye it, because basically everything is like about this color. So I might just like dip it in a little bit of tea and see what's gonna happen, because I never tea dye anything yet. So that would be great opportunity to try it. And of course, I'm gonna do a patch test first. And what else? And yeah, I think I want to add some roses, because we're gonna have some red on it, and stay like generally in the neutrals. And I have fun idea for the pockets in the back, which I'm gonna show you. And I think I want to have a string in my waist, because they very like a shapeless, squarish, right? So in case I want to add some shape to it and like have some tie in the waist, I might do that. I am also thinking about adding some ruffles on the bottom, but for now I'm looking for my Spice Girl for this specific project. And the more Spice Girls projects are coming up soon, but this is the first one which I think it's just screaming for the Spice Girl. Today is like day 5 of me doing overalls, but not because
they took such a long time to do it, but because I'm taking my time deciding what I want to put on them and I try to sleep on it, I think because I'm using this beautiful vintage salt and flour sacks, I want to make them super fun and the way I want it. And sometimes I think I'm making very impulsive decisions. So every day I'm kind of taking my time and doing a few videos at the same time and looking at them and doing something else and looking at them. So I'm going to show you work in progress and what I decide and why. So that would be, that's the front of my overalls. And I didn't do that much, but I cut this flour sack and I removed the back because if you remember, the back of it had the recipe, which I want to use also. So that would be, that's the front of my overalls. And I didn't do that much, but I cut this flour sack and I removed the back because if you remember, the back of it had the recipe, which I want to use also. So I added a lining to it, so it's like double lined from another sack because this one was like super thin. And I'm afraid that one day when I'm gonna want to put something in it, I might like rip it or ruin it, so I try to like secure it. So I added the lining to it and I put like a tiny crochet raffle around it. But before I touch the pocket, I added one of my appliques, like a hand. And I'm gonna add more. This is just the beginning. Also, this specific design pattern doesn't have nice finish for armpits. So because like sometimes when I crochet raffle around it, but before I touch the pocket, I added one of my appliques, like a hand. And I'm gonna add more. This is just the beginning. Also, this specific design pattern doesn't have nice finish for armpits. So because like sometimes when I buy the patterns, like there's like this kind of like lining, you attach it and the armpits look nice and finished, right? This one didn't, and I didn't want to go through the process of like measuring that and trying to figure out. I'm sorry, the light is like annoying here. So what I decided to do, I also added like a tiny trim over here, as you see, and then I'm gonna connect everything together and then I'm gonna fold it under. So this beautiful finish going to be on the inside of it, but you know, usually when the overalls like oversized, you can see the finish in there, and the jeans has like really nice finish. So this is gonna have this type of finish. So that would be what I decided for now to do it with the front of my overalls. And I'm just using my appliques, and I notice maybe because I have so many, I have to go through my website and just kind of like look what I have and add the leftovers at the studio. I have tons of appliques which has actually sepia look, which means I do not need to take a risk and tie-dye it like this ones. And I'm trying to choose from my appliques ones which actually go color-wise with the red. So like you see this rose, it's actually perfect for this red, for this red, for this red. It picks up all the colors and shades of red from the front. So for now, that's what I did for the front. Now I'm gonna show you the back because back looks super fun. So I'm gonna move my camera again so I can step back because I am right against the table, so you're not gonna be able to see it. And my studio is like mess because there are appliques, cutouts, leftovers, like literally everywhere. So let me show you the back and then I'm gonna tell you what I decided to do. Yay, look at this. And I'm gonna move the camera again. So I'm sorry if I'm getting you dizzy, but this is better light. So you saw it from the distance. And I'm gonna also take a picture. So remember when I told you that I might need to tea-dye one of my spicy ladies? I won't, because I have tons of spicy ladies which actually have a sepia color. And if you're gonna cut them very close to the line and you're not gonna leave any white, they're actually already good to go. You don't need to do anything, you know, with them. So I chose this spicy lady because she's very vintage and she looks to me like a vintage maid. I might be wrong, that's how she looks to me. So I chose her for the back because she's kind of black and white and I have black and white over here. So I wanted actually to bring this color a little bit higher too, to fill it up. I'm always about connecting everything and details and colors together. So I chose her for this reason, and because she's sepia and because she's black and white, and also I think the saying it's also super fun, right? So I did that. And because she's made and she had like this raffles, I also used this vintage, not vintage, you can buy them on Amazon, but they look very vintage, like a trim. And I made my folds over here to actually create dimensions, because if you're gonna see original photo, I will try to attach it when I'm talking. She has, like the print has this raffles over here. So I created 2 layers of raffles over here for her. And what I did, I also created a pocket only on one side. I'm gonna have the pocket only on one side. And I used the back from the front miniature sack, and I did exactly the same thing. I lined it so it's like double. You can see it. It's like, otherwise it's gonna be like a super sheer and super see-through. So I actually add the lining to it. I created the pocket and I attached it to the back. So back has more black and white situation over here. and this the recipe is attached, and I'm not doing another packet on this side because I told you, because it says Sparta quality and I am Marta from Sparta, I am protecting that side. What I'm planning to do, I'm planning to embroider roses, something similar which I did on Free People. And if you remember, I bought like 25 or 40 maybe, I don't even remember, because when I see the deal is deal. I bought like this hand painted kind of like quilting squares. I might use one of them. I'm gonna show you everything next to me. If you missed the post, I'm gonna update you that. I might add like a Dolce Vita sign, because I need to also bring black and white to the front, so everything is gonna come nicely together. So actually embroidery and the chain stitch, I'm gonna add the quote from Magnolia per book. This book is like full of really amazing quotes which actually speak to me, and I really love them. So I'm gonna do that. So it's still work in progress, and I'm gonna just keep updating you on every step. I'm just gonna take a pictures of this step before I'm gonna add more. And yeah, I am super excited. And this is like, I told you guys before when we were doing first upscaling video, that I really enjoy it. And the more I'm doing upscaling, and it's kind of like a painting. I don't sometimes I paint it at one sitting, but sometimes like I paint something, then I it has been 5 days since I am working on this overalls. Today is Friday, and it was raining for 3 or 4 days in a row, which I absolutely love. I'm not sure if you guys knew that about me, but rain is very inspiring to me. So I'm just gonna show you what have I accomplished during this time. So I closed the overalls. I closed them prematurely for one reason, because I want to know exact placement of the quotes which I will be doing, and closing them is gonna be very helpful for me to visualize it. They are very wide and baggy, so there's no issues for me to put this under and just do the stitching. So let me show you. That's the front, and this one is attached by zigzag by sewing machine. This one I couldn't. I have to attach by my hand, because I still want to have a usable pocket. And I thought about applique or this crochet applique when I actually put everything nicely together. Sometimes I need to visualize it. I put like a flower bouquet daisies in this pocket, because I put it to the side because I wanted this stamp and this number to be visible. My oh my god, straps gonna go somewhere here, and I want them to be over, not under, because I want to see the piece of the sack, which I was working very hard to cut them evenly. I'm gonna probably go with like a dark brown bottoms, because I want everything to be so earthy. So this is the top part of the overalls. I also did a double stitch over here, kind of like jeans, and I have to cut a lot of threads, but underneath I installed a very soft crochet lace to have a nice finish, because they are very baggy under your armpits. I'm sure this part will be visible, so I decided I still have to cut out a lot of threads. It's still a work in progress, but I finished it on the both sides with this beautiful crochet lacing. And as you see, I'm gonna link all patches which I used in the description below, obviously. As I said, I'm gonna stay away from the Sparta quality. So in here on the bottom of the one of the legs, I had got daisies obviously, and the crochet butterfly. And this leg, I'm not gonna do anything with it on the bottom, because I removed the stitcher, and this is like original finishing from the sack, which is I planned it from the beginning when I was cutting the design. And this leg I added, because there was no original design anymore, I added like the crochet lace finishing. So one leg gonna be looking like that on the bottom, and the other one gonna look like this. I cut out daisy short, so they look like they're kind of coming out from under the sign. And let me show you the back. The bottom back. Bottom back has sunflowers with yellow butterflies, and also like red butterflies, which are coming out from the pants, like from the stitch kind of, and that was done on purpose. And I saved the recipe from the front tiny sack, which you saw over there, and I also have to keep finishing stitching my crochet butterfly. And this is the lady. And now you know why I chose the yellow for the back, because there is a yellow sign over here. So I decided yellow sunflowers and yellow butterflies to complement everything, and I added a touch of red because we still have red design. So I wanted everything to have nice flow and come nicely together. That's why I chose white butterflies with the red finishes. So it's going to look black and white with black and white and touches of red to bring everything together. We also have black and white signs sold over here. And I'm gonna link this pattern in description below. I just want to tell you that I did size small, and this size small on my body frame feels like large, medium, or even large. So this overall's meant to be running very oversized. What I want to say, pattern doesn't come with the side pockets. I did side pockets because I had to skip one back pocket, and I had to skip 2 pockets which design has in front, and I wanted to have some sort of pockets to put my hand in. I really like it with overalls. So now what I'm planning to do, let me show you.
bringing my baby back because again, we're still doing some stitching. So I'm gonna use one of those. I think it's called mending. I told you, one of those designs. I have plenty of them. I also gonna link them in the description below, and I'm gonna do it in multiple places. So I'm gonna bring some different texture on top of the patches. I have to think about what and where, but you guys don't have to wait hours for to decide. And what I'm gonna use, I have a Magnolia Pearl book with Robin and other artist quotes, and some quotes are extremely beautiful. The free soul is rare, but you knew it when you see it. And there are a lot of beautiful quotes by a lot of artists over here, which I'm gonna choose few of them, which represents me and they speak to me the most for this specific, very organic design. I'm gonna link this book in description below if you want buy it. So for example, that's picture of the Robin with another quote: life is a game made for everyone and the love is the prize. I love that. There is so many over there. I have to go through this again and find the quote which I want for this specific overalls, and I have to keep it in mind that I already have one of my Spice Girls in the back. For this part of pants, I decided to use like this sticky pattern because I don't have patience of drawing and tracing and everything. So now we need to use the water to dissolve it because I am done with, I think it's called mending. So I brought them outside and I'm just gonna hose it. And wait for this to disappear. That's fun. I don't want to put them in wash because they are clean. So I'm just gonna dissolve that thing and then let it air dry. And I'm gonna do more stitching because I still have more stitches to add, like tiny touches. Look at my daisies. Haha. I'm gonna leave them to dry outside. Hopefully birds not gonna poop at them because then I'm gonna have to wash them and I'm gonna add a few more things to them, and we're waiting for the clasps, and I'm gonna be in the next clip showing you the full product. So fun, so fun. Here we go. I turned the camera on and I bet that you were gonna start to bark in a minute. It was quiet until I'm gonna start to talk. But let me show you overalls. I am so proud of them. They're so comfortable and everything is so thin and very lightweight. And I want to tell you, I don't want you to think like, oh my God, great, be proud of yourself. You have all this, I'm sorry, natty hair, flower sacks. I promise you, because I did the research before I start this video, so you guys gonna have opportunity to do the same if you guys want to. There is hundreds of them on eBay, and the price is various obviously from how old they are and how big they are and who is selling it, but you can also bid on them. And I happen to bid on everything and like counter bid, and I'm winning like a great stuff. eBay is great. I didn't see any on Poshmark, which is my favorite place to thrift for the clothes for my thrift flipping videos, but there is hundreds and hundreds of them on eBay. But you guys see them on the both sides of the screen already. Let me show you what I decided to do. And as you see, I did embroider Dolce Vita. I did the buttons, two different buttons, which I had two vintage buttons from, I don't know, eBay. I showed you my thing and I collect of them. And I added two doilies and I hand stitched them. And I decided to finish pockets with the rag stitch. I thought it looks fun and finished, and it's like contrasty, not like a white block, you know. And I am extremely proud of this rose especially, and this
This is Leonardo da Vinci quote, by the way. You can do whatever you want to. And I think the daisies bring like a fun color pop over here. And I just like the front didn't have that much black, but I wanted to bring the black from the back because back of the overalls has a lot of black, so I want to connect like both sides. And so I brought some elements of black in form of the sign. Quote is dark green because we have a lot of green here. I did this stitching in black and the pockets which gonna connect both sides together. Little bit of here, and I didn't go crazy on black. Oh, I did this mending over here. I think it's called mending, which is also black. So I kind of like wanted to connect both sides together as far as the colors go, and they are amazing. I wore them today just to show you for a few minutes how they're gonna look, because right now it's like 86 degrees, so it's hot. But they are very super lightweight and thin. Not for 86 degrees with the humidity, but they're definitely very lightweight. And in the back, look at this. I had that love sign, if you guys remember, from the rag bag, which I did a while ago, and I had a one left over, so I used it here. And I used this like a simple, kind of like a pins, which you just stick around. But because the back has this kind of like a lining, so they never gonna poke me or hurt me. Oops. And so that's what I decided to do, because I thought this area just screaming for something. And this is one of my Spice Girls. I'm gonna link her in description below. If this quote is not something which you would say, I have like at least 100 of different ladies which has different sayings. And obviously that's my patches, the sunflowers too. And I did a little bit more mending, and I have the packet over here with the recipe, which is from this miniature bag. What else I did in a bag? Oh, and butterflies. And I decided to use white and red butterflies because I had a lot of red. So I want to connect black with red, and there is like a lot of black and white. And the other side has also daisies, and it was 2 weeks of constant working on it, but I absolutely obsessed with them. And just for the reference, I'm gonna link this pattern in description below. I used a size extra small from the pattern, and as you see on the video, they are huge on me. So just for the reference, if I buy my clothes like in United States sizing, I buy them in size extra small or small, depends from the brand. Obviously you guys probably have the same thing with my shoes. I either buy 7 or 6.5, depends from the brand. So I most likely this run really large, and they don't have any zippers, they don't have anything, you just slide in because it's so much room. So I was even considering like doing maybe like some kind of like scrunchies on the sides, like just on the both sides, but also like I like them baggy, and I was wearing them with this t-shirt, and they are amazing. I just can't wait now for the weather to cool off a little to wear them somewhere. Tomorrow maybe I'm gonna wear them to the dentist. Girls over there really like my handmade clothes, so I'm just gonna wear it to the dentist tomorrow. And that's it. I really enjoyed this project. I hope you did too. I hope that was inspiring video for you. Go on eBay, buy your sacks, flower sacks or like salt sacks. This was a combination of both, and go crazy. This is such an amazing way to thrift and put a little bit of the history on yourself. Thank you so much for joining me this Sunday. I really appreciate you. Sorry for my crazy hair, but it's so much humidity. And I'm currently working on another Magnolia Pearl inspired pants, which you guys gonna be obsessed with, because I already am. I'm gonna post some teasers in shorts, and again, go and have fun. I'm gonna link all patches in description below, bags you can buy on eBay, and have fun. And if you're gonna make something like that, email me, and I'm gonna be happy to post it and share it with our community. Thank you so much for your support. Enjoy the rest of your day.